Okay, so as I've told you before, that the init db and all these methods needs to be rewritten. So let me just npm run dev this file, and this cat model, let's rename this as a messages model. Right, and I would like to create this as a global object. So I would say this dot messages model, and this is the variable in the messages variable of the class. This can be anything right now, and later on we will only push these messages when we receive the message. So I will do something like this, and picking up this into msg is equals to this one, and instead of a new cat I would like to say this dot messages model. Okay, so it is complaining about this. So let's, as we only need it for this use case, so I'll just quickly add it here only. But the mongoose is declared here, so okay, so instead of this one, now we should start sending the messages, and this is a strict to false, so it means it will not do any issues, like the connection name must be a string. It is saying collection name. Okay, so let's be hopeful that it will work just fine, and once it is connected, it is saying this one. Instead of a simple json, I will say msg is equals to this one, and what I will do now is we will always have dot to, or let's simply do something like json dot stringify this, because publish always accepts the string, and that's why uh, as it converts it to the buffer later, so that's why objects are not accepted. So yeah, so let's see what our db got here. Okay, still we didn't go. Okay, 1 to 6 of 6, but I only see few here. Okay, so the name was expected, and it is not there, so I will do like msg string. So maybe I have to drop this collection msgs. There is still a problem, so msg is the message, and once we receive this toString, so we actually have to kitty msg model. Okay, we have not passed msg here, so I will have to json dot parse this message, and now it should have this one. Yes, so we got our message saved here, and just few things that we will need from along with this is created on, then something like as a channel id, or let's say simply topic id, which is like very important to know on which stream or which topic this message was published. So let's create the rest of the part as well quickly. So I will say like constant msg object msg object dot created on equal to new date. You can even use like a get time, but I will not get it right now. It is not, so otherwise it is not human readable in the db. So, and the topic id msg object dot topic id is equals to topic, and I will just put this message object here, right? And let's see let's say m dot save, right? And let's print this saved to db, and this is the response, so that way we don't have to go to the db again and again to verify. So I guess this is the setup that we need from the application server side, and this is not going to be something like in the picture when we do something at the UI side, but it will be helpful to restore the messages, to read something from the database, and to restore the chats, and to create the channels, right? So let's write API that can give you the channel ID, right? So app.get channel ID, so request any response of any type, right? And here what we will do, we are expecting like the constant party1 and party2 should be sent into the request dot body, sorry, request dot queries, as it is the get call. And we will say res dot json as a channel id should be somewhere like, if so, ideally there should not be a problem if I talk to you or you initiate the chat, right? So party 1 and party 2 should be checked all the time, and vice versa. So that's why that way we don't have to recreate the chats if they are not available. So what we will do now is we will fire a query later on to the database to check whether the channel id already present or not. But for now let's send like a party 1 plus party 2. So to generate this id, right? So let's create a variable channel id is equals to this one, and let's put this into the template syntax. Okay, so and party 2, okay, and some random number which will be new date dot get time, and all this should be something unique and not readable usually. So we will need to use b2a, as this library is not present. it may throw an error. Is deprecated data buffer dot from. Let's see what it responds as. So localhost 7 what is the port number? 3070 slash channel id, right? It sends something like this, which we don't really want. So A to B, okay, so it is not defined, so we will have to install this library npm I A to B. So there are two different libraries, A to B and B to E, B to A, which are generally used for base 64 conversion. So let's see what it says. And we will say constant A to B. It is still saying A to B is not defined. Which is strange. Okay, so actually we need B to A because my bad. And let's quickly change it. B to A, B to A, B to A. Right now save this one, run dev. And when you ask for the channel ID, it will create something like this. It will be it should be different in some cases. It depends like what you are passing in. Right now we're not passing any party 1 party 2, so if we pass that in, party 1 is equal to Bhushan and party 2 is equal to this one, then it will respond you the channel ID that you should use, right? But before to the channel ID, we should have our topic prefix as well. So that is why let's quickly add that too, and slash. So this will be the channel ID for you. Okay, so this is not available here. So let me bring this in the class itself, and this free bot should go outside. That way it will initiate the application. And let's quickly just rewrite the things here. Instead of this, so wherever we are having an app, so we will say this dot app, and here as well this dot app, this dot app, right? All this initialization logic and the stuff that was required for the express. So I will create a method in it, express, and we'll push this everything to this one. And first of all we will initiate init express, and then mqtt, and then the database. Okay, so if I visit this now, so I think the code is much cleaner than before. So you can see that the free bot 0310 slash this id, right? So if you even revisit that or refresh this one, it will not it is not returning the new id. If I change this id, then this will be some different id. Okay, so we will see how we can change the how we can check whether the current id is present or not. But till now, I guess let's quickly clean up the code, and let's try in the next video. Okay, instead of log I would say trace, that way it can show me. This is simply taking the subscription, so I would say console.log subscribe to this one, and this is publishing simple message, so I guess this is fine. And once the message is received, so we are already having this one. So just along with that, so let's print the new date as well, so that we can know when that message is received. And the logs will have timestamp as well. So why shouldn't we add it to every log that we print? That way it will be more easy for us to trace when the things are happening. And I think these are the only logs saved to the database. This should be okay. So all the logs will have the timestamp before them, so that it looks better, and it gives you the idea. So let's see the next steps in the next video.